Pengangguran antara kadar pengangguran yang lebih
Pengangguran di negara.
Pengangguran dijangka.
Kadar pengangguran pada Jun.
Unemployment refers to a situation in which the workers who are capable of working and willing to work do not get employment. It is a key economic indicator used to assess the health of a country's job market and overall economic conditions. In 2025, Malaysia's labour market showed clear signs of improvement when compared to the previous year. The number of unemployed persons in April 2025 was 525,900, which is a reduction from 556,500 recorded in April 2024. This decline represents a significant improvement in overall employment conditions. The national unemployment rate also showed positive progress. In April 2024, the unemployment rate stood at 3.3%, but by April 2025, it had decreased to 3.0%, marking the lowest level seen in the past decade. This improvement reflects stronger labour demand and increased economic activity throughout the year. The labour force also expanded during this period. The labour force participation rate in April 2024 is 70.6%, while in April 2025 it increased to 70.8%. At the same time, the number of employed individuals rose from 16.37 million in 2024 to 16.85 million in 2025, indicating that more people successfully entered or remained in employment. Overall, the comparison between 2024 and 2025 shows steady progress. Fewer unemployed persons, a lower unemployment rate, a larger labour force, and more individuals employed. These changes point to an improving labour market, although youth unemployment remains an important area that requires continued attention.
Hello everyone, in this segment, we will take a snapshot of inflation and cost of living in Malaysia in 2025. We examine how the rising prices affect everyday Malaysians and what the number say for the entire economy. For Malaysian inflation situation in 2025, as of September 2025, annual inflation in Malaysia rose to 1.5%, according to the Department of Statistics Malaysia or DOSM. Earlier in 2025, in January, inflation stood at about 1.7%, and during mid-year, rates moderated. For example, June recorded inflation around 1.1%. Despite relatively modest headline inflation, certain categories such as food and beverage, housing and utilities, and also essential, continue to feel pressure. Overall, 2025 paints a picture of moderated overall inflation for Malaysia, but for many households, especially vulnerable ones, the pressure from increased cost of food, utilization, and essential remains. Thank you.
In macroeconomics, subsidy play an important role in shaping a country's economic stability, growth, and welfare. A subsidy is a financial assistance provided by the government to reduce production costs or consumer price. Government use subsidy to achieve several macroeconomic goals. One of them is stabilizing price, which especially for essential goods such as fuel, food, and electricity. Secondly, encouraging production in strategic sectors like agriculture or renewable energy. And third, protecting household income during inflation or economic downturn. For example, many countries introduce energy subsidy during global oil price spike to reduce the burden on consumers. Subsidy directly influence aggregate demand into supply and overall economic welfare. First, increasing aggregate supply. When producers receive subsidy, their production costs decrease, allowing them to produce more at lower price. Second, support aggregate demand, which lower price encourage consumers to spend more, which in turn stimulating economic activity. Subsidies can also reduce inequality, especially if targeted toward low-income households. Subsidy can generate positive outcomes such as lower price for essential goods, increasing employment in supported industry, and promoting of long-term development such as green technology. However, subsidy can also create economic challenges. They are expensive, placing pressure on the national budget. They may also encourage overconsumption, market distortion, or dependence among producers. In some cases, subsidy benefit high-income consumers more than low-income groups, making them regressive. Subsidies reforms are often politically sensitive, but they are necessary to maintain a sustainable fiscal position. Subsidies remain a powerful yet controversial macroeconomic tool. When designed effectively, they can protect the vulnerable, support industries, and stabilize the economy. But when poorly targeted, they can strain government finances and distort market. Understanding the impact of subsidies helps us evaluate how government spending shape the broader economy and influence our daily life.
Malaysia's economy continues to show resilience and steady growth in 2025. Let's take a closer look at the key highlights. In the first half of 2025, Malaysia recorded a GDP growth of 4.4% year-on-year, and in the third quarter, growth accelerated to 5.2%. This marks a positive trend compared to previous quarters. Growth was driven mainly by services and manufacturing sectors, with services expanding 5.1% and manufacturing 3.7%. Construction surged by 12.1%, signaling strong infrastructure activity. On the expenditure side, private consumption grew by 5.3%, supported by household spending and government initiatives like Sumbangan Tunai Rama. Meanwhile, gross fixed capital formation jumped 12.1%, reflecting robust investment. External trade also played a role. Total trade reached RM 749.2 billion, up 6.2% year-on-year. Exports grew 3.5%, while imports rose 9.1%, narrowing the trade balance to RM 14.5 billion. Foreign direct investment stood at RM 1.6 billion, with major inflows from Singapore, Japan, and the UK. Malaysia's direct investment abroad was RM 0.6 billion, mainly to Indonesia and Saudi Arabia. Inflation remained stable at 1.3%, and the ringgit strengthened against the US dollar, trading at RM 4.1280 in November. With strong domestic demand, stable inflation, and growing investments, Malaysia's economy is on track for sustainable growth in 2025.
In 2025, Malaysia's economic direction is shaped strongly by fiscal policy reform. Let's take a quick look at the key fiscal figures and strategy that define Malaysia's economy in 2025. For the first one is fiscal position and budget direction. For 2025, the government is focusing on restructuring fiscal management. Malaysia is targeting a fiscal deficit of around 4% of GDP, aiming for a more sustainable medium-term fiscal path. So the development spending continues to support infrastructure, digitalization, education, and social welfare. Government revenue. On the revenue side, the government expects stronger collection driven by refined subsidy targeting, strengthening indirect tax, which is including the expense service tax, and improved tax compliance that was supported by the digitalization of tax system. This measure help ensure that revenue goes in line with expenditure, keeping fiscal space healthy. Targeted subsidies and social support. A key highlight of Malaysia's fiscal policy in 2025 is the continuation of targeted subsidies. These include targeted fuel subsidies, electricity support, and cash assistance for low-income households. This approach reduces subsidy leakage, lower unnecessary spending, and make sure it reaches those who truly need. Budget priorities in 2025. Major allocation in the 2025 budget will focus on healthcare, education, digital infrastructure, energy transition, support for micro, small and medium enterprise. This investment aim to raise productivity and strengthen Malaysia's long-term competitiveness. Overall, fiscal policy in 2025 shows Malaysia's commitment to restoring fiscal discipline while still protecting the pupil. This fiscal measure form a solid foundation for a long-term economic stability.